The longer we are in crypto, the more it becomes apparent. Trying to gamble with small altcoins is a losing game for most people. Most altcoins, especially the smaller ones, tend to underperform most of the time. It is slightly better for the larger tokens. So this is now the top 100. There are a few winners every now and then. Of course, still the majority doesn't do that great, but at least there's a chance to win. And so the smaller the market cap of an altcoin, the higher the risk. If we don't want to trade super actively, it might make sense to just stick with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. And we're going to talk about Solana in this video because the chart is quite interesting. We are neither close to all-time highs nor close to the bottoms. Are we going to see a double top with a subsequent crash down to $10 as we saw in 2023? Or is the rally continuing? One of the main drivers for Solana in the last year was meme coin trading. It was Pump.fun, the meme coin launchpad on the chain. Now, meme coins are mainly traded by retail. The issue is that retail interest is very low recently. So we had a peak for Bitcoin searches in the middle of November 2024. Since then, interest in crypto is declining. So this is now Bitcoin. Here's the same for the search term crypto. The charts look very, very similar. What's currently driving crypto prices is not retail. Bitcoin is still close to its all-time highs. And again, it's not the retail investor that's buying here. It's institutions that are buying. It's Wall Street. It's the Bitcoin treasury companies. Now, the reason why this matters is because it does have an implication on Solana as well. Now, first, let's have a look at Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin ETF holdings over time measured in BTC. So there's long-term accumulation of Bitcoin through Wall Street. And we see the same now happening for Ethereum. At the beginning, times were a little bit rough because Grayscale sold a lot of their holdings. But since the middle of April, there is accumulation with the Ethereum ETFs as well. And we are at an all-time high. So the number of Ethereum that's held by the ETFs is now growing as well. And probably it will end up with a similar chart to what we have with Bitcoin, long-term accumulation over time. And this does have an impact. Have a look at Ethereum relative to Bitcoin. Since the middle of April, we finally see some outperformance again. We have bounced off similar levels compared to September of 2019. And again, right, this is the middle of April over here, and this is the middle of April over here. So accumulation by ETFs matter. And so let's go back to Solana. What we've got over here is Solana relative to Bitcoin. And the vertical line that we see on that chart, that's when the Bitcoin ETF got launched. So again, the institutional money accelerated Bitcoin's price a lot. And so even though we had all of that trading with meme coins on the Solana chain during that time, Solana still underperformed Bitcoin by more than 40%. But here's a potential catalyst. There are more and more rumors that a Solana ETF might get approved very soon. And then we're likely going to see inflows in Solana as well. So Wall Street will not just buy Bitcoin, it will not just buy Ethereum, it will start to accumulate Solana as well. Now have a look at Solana's total value locked over time. So this is now how much capital is on the chain. We had our 2021 decentralized finance summer and then the subsequent crash with Terra Luna and FTX blowing up, with the bottom happening somewhere in 2023. We then had our subsequent rise with the meme coin trading, and things seem to be slowing down again. But this year is measured in US dollars. Measured in Solana, we don't really see that decline. It seems like decentralized finance continues to grow on the chain. Or in other words, there's still adoption. It's not like the growth is halting. It's just that the asset currently is somewhat depressed temporarily, and maybe then after a while, as demand grows through decentralized finance, the asset price might go up again. Here's the trading volume on Solana in SOL. Every year we see more trading volume compared to the year before. Again, measured in SOL, not measured in US dollars. Now compare this with Ethereum during the same time frame. Ethereum did not see a new all-time high in 2024-2025. This is now in US dollars, and here's the same in Ethereum. The growth in Ethereum on the Ethereum chain is not as constant as the growth on Solana measured in Solana token. And so this is where there's potentially an opportunity. There has been a lot of outperformance of Bitcoin and Ethereum through Wall Street, but Solana might catch up. Check out Solana relative to Ethereum. It seems to be in a trading range in the last 1.5 years, and we are at the lower end of that trading range. and there's potential for outperformance of more than 40, potentially more than 50%. The idea for such a trade is to go long Solana and short Ethereum. So you're betting on the relative valuation. I've made money in the exact opposite way. I shorted Solana relative to Ethereum during this move down. So have a look at this. This comes from the premium membership. I was opening the Solana short when we were here at the top. And then afterwards, I closed it. That was after 5 weeks of holding, and it turned 43K into 59K. The idea is that we short sell the asset that we are comparatively bearish on. So let's say that's Ethereum. We borrow Ethereum, then we swap this into Solana, and then we deposit that Solana again on the DeFi platform, and we wait for the ratio to change. So it's not just about buying a cryptocurrency, it's about just playing the relative valuation game, because I think that's actually easier than being impacted by the overall macro. There is so much correlation within crypto, right? When Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, Solana goes up, and the same the other way around. But what really matters is relative valuations. It's much easier to play those games. Now, I've made several tutorials on that topic, gaining from relative valuations or how to win in bear markets by shorting altcoins. So there are several explainer videos. Here, part of premium. There's a video on how to do this on Aave, but here's another video on how to do this with perpetual futures on Hyperliquid. And of course, risk management in all of this is extremely important. If you don't know what you're doing, you can blow up your capital. But again, I do think that if you manage your risk accordingly, that risk adjusted, we can make money much easier this way. So just go to defilama.com, to the borrow aggregator, and then you can see where can I borrow Ethereum, where can I use Solana as collateral. And here are the platforms. So you can use various blockchains for that and different DeFi protocols. For example, Venus Finance on the Binance Smart Chain, that's what I have used. But there's also options on the Solana chain directly or on Avalanche or on Sonic. I haven't seen anyone else in crypto publishing numbers like this. So this is my personal performance versus just buying and holding Bitcoin. That's my long-term performance over the last 4 years, a bit less than that. So on the x-axis, we see the monthly performance. Had I just bought and held Bitcoin, so dollar cost average into the asset, I would have gotten this gray line. But instead, because I did those relative valuation trades, I now have more than double of that performance. I'm now doing a lot of those relative valuation trades on the perpetual futures, so on Hyperliquid. That's also a decentralized protocol. I started with this 2 months ago, and we are now at an all-time high. And I'm planning to open a vault, so a capital pool where people can just deposit and then automatically copy trade. Right now, all the copy trading happens manually. So I am sharing my trades, and members copy trade me and then also share this in the community. And of course, the returns of individual trades are always nice, but really what matters are not those individual trades, it's always the long-term outperformance. And so if you're interested in those relative valuation bets, if you want to bet on Solana relative to Ethereum, not just buying Solana directly, then feel free to check out Premium. This is where it's all explained. Currently, it's all manual copy trading and of course learning everything in the tutorial section for $125 per month. I'm planning though to beta launch the automatic copy trading to a subsection of the members as well. So I will start with the people that are subscribed annually. So if you don't want to spend the time to do all the trades yourselves and to learn it all, you can also consider join the yearly membership. Then you also get a bit of savings, so $250 per year in reduction. So this will be for the beta launch for the first few months, where you can get the exact same performance as me. By the way, this drop over here in performance, this is where I forgot to set a proper stop loss. That was on a short squeeze of Launchcoin. If I had not made that mistake, the chart would look much better. But again, this is why I first beta launch everything. I want to see how the platform reacts once a bit more capital is moved. Then afterwards, I will very likely launch this as a separate membership as well. You should see a link directly to Premium over here. Just click on that link. You will land on the website. If it's the very first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish this regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time on YouTube or see you in Premium. Cheers.